Good evening, everyone. I pray everyone has had an amazing weekend. Hi, Sister Marilyn. I see you. How are you doing? Whew, it's been a great weekend. Of course, some challenges, but I see that everyone is here on this evening, so that is absolutely great. I'm so excited about this week's devotional. You have some special treats coming along the rest of the week, and I won't give those away. But tonight, you will be hearing from me as you do see a different look and feel. So come on in and join us. So, this week's devotional, we are going to be talking about to everything a time, learning to trust God in every circumstance. Now, if you don't know what that means for most people, it's like, understanding how to trust God in all things and in every circumstances and in his time is so very difficult. Hi, Sister Maria. How are you doing? It's so difficult to always trust him. And I can honestly say that I'm kind of going through something similar right now. It's just like I know, he's there. I know he's doing what he is supposed to do. I know that I'm going down the path that he needs me to be. But I just, how when we jump and they say just go ahead and take the jump. Well, sometimes you at least get to see the safety net. And I don't see the safety net. So I'm kind of somewhat panicking or anything like that. So this is an opportune time for this particular devotional because we all are going through some challenges as to say, when God says trust him, when God says wait, when God says move a certain way, we are always a little bit skittish. But tonight's topic will kind of go into this. And tonight's topic is great expectations, a time to build. And see, what people don't understand a lot of the times is that, you go through a building process, you go through a building phase, you go through what I call as a demolition phase. And for many of us, we've been through that demolition phase. And things have been gutted, things have been taken apart, things have been pulled apart. And now we are about to hit that building stage, that rebuilding stage. For some people, it's a rebuild, some people, it's a remodel, some people, it's a complete makeover. But we are now in that building stage, and we're kind of like, what do we expect? What do we do? And so tonight's lesson is coming from three scriptures. And the first one is going to be coming from Proverbs, the third chapter, the fifth through the sixth verse. And it's going to read as such. I'm reading everything in the King James Version. Always be free to find the version that works the best for you. But for what we're discussing on this evening, I feel that the King James Version is like a bit cut and to the point. And so we're going to read Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And it reads as such. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. How many times is that difficult? How many times is we hear something, we see something, we're about something, and we always want to try to get our own little twist on it? Trust me, I'm one of those. I've been one of those. So don't beat yourself up about it. It's about understanding to lean not to our understanding and let God take the reign. Our second scripture is going to be coming from Matthew, the 7th chapter, the 24th to the 25th verse, and it reads as such. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken them unto a wise man which has built his house upon a rock. And when the rain descendeth, and the floods come, and when the winds blew and beat upon that house, it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. This is a time when if you're doubting, if you're wondering, this is when you have to listen to what God is telling you and build that foundation on a solid rock. Because if you build it on anything else outside of the rock, it will crumble, it will be swept away, it'll be led astray. So if you build the foundation and put it on a rock, it's not going anywhere. Nowhere at all. And then finally, we have Isaiah 58 and 11. And it reads as such. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. Basically, it's just like if you allow him to guide you, you will not have any problems. You will have not any problems if you allow him to guide you the way he needs to guide you. And that means us not interfering. And trust me, I am good for it. I always am the one that definitely wants to try to figure it out, trying to get what I need to do, how I need to do it. And it's just like, it doesn't. And when it fails, then I look like, well, I'm looking at God like he crazy when I'm the one is crazy, because again, I lean to my own understanding. I didn't build the foundation of what he told me to build it upon on a rock. I built it to suit my needs. Now, when we come into expectations, many of us have expectations. By the time we leave childhood behind, we're planning our futures, looking forward to the next stage in life, whatever that will be. We're looking to secure our lifestyle that we dreamed of. We want great exam results. I know I did. I was not necessarily looking into university or college, but many people are. You may fit some travel in. You probably getting your first car, your first apartment. You're aiming for these great degrees and, a fulfilling career. And, you want to meet someone, you want to get married, you want to get a home, have a family, and, think about it, all the nice little leisurely things that would come with it, that could be a bonus. But then again, you may have other aspirations. Perhaps the roles changes in the world improves a lot for humankind, or discovering or inventing something that will be far reaching for everyone. Whatever our ambitions are, most of us have at least had some idea of what the future might hold. Now, see, that is where we sometimes mess up. I know I used to all the time, because I had my whole life planned out about how many kids I was going to have, when I was going to get married, what house I was going to live in, where I was going to live in. I had all of that laid out. And that wasn't what God wanted at that point. It wasn't that he didn't want that for my life, but the way I was aiming for it, and the things that, because I had gone through other things and I hadn't gone through healing, he couldn't give me those things because I wasn't mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepared to take on those responsibilities. So therefore, not that I got a roadblock, and not that I got a stumbling block, but he had to change up my paths, Now, we have to also understand that we may not get what our heart's desires, despite our best efforts. We can't be sure when we go shopping or traveling we'll be safe. We can't be sure that our jobs are going to be secure, that our pensions are reliable, that our money is safe in the bank. You have new diseases that raises their head. You have talks of terror, standard things that just happen to and fro. Then you think about all the things you add to it, the doctor's prescriptions for anxiety. And, trust me, it is at an all-time high. But see, in the midst of all of this craziness, in the midst of all this drama, there is a safe place to be. And that's a rock which to stand secure. And that rock is Jesus. He came to make sure that we would have everything that we would need and so much more. He made sure that we can have life and we can have it more abundantly. See, Jesus came into this world and he lived as we did. He made it from birth to adulthood. He understood the pains and the hurts that we were going through on a daily basis. But he did it so that he can redeem us by his death. See, when we decide to follow him, we know that we're safe. And not in the sense that nothing bad will ever happen to us. Let me say that again. We are safe, not in the sense that nothing bad will ever happen to us. but we're secure in the knowledge that in every storm, in every joy, in every sorrow, good times and bad, he's with us and he's never going to leave us. See, his love endures forever and it'll never change. And see, he has a perfect plan for each one of us. And that basically that blueprint is designed specifically for us. Like I've always said, you know, we were called for a purpose. We're here for a reason. He loves us, and there's nothing that we can do to make him love us any more, any less. We are all unique. We were formed in his image, and we have a specific purpose that only we can do. It doesn't mean that the things of what God needs to have done is not going to get done. Because if we decide that we're not going to do it anymore, we decide that we're just going to throw in the towel, the goal, the purpose, the overall purpose is going to get done. It's not going to get done the way you would have done it. It's not going to reach the people you would have reached. But his word can't return void, and he can never fail. So therefore, he has to move on. So when you put your confidence in him, when you put your trust in him, when you build your wants, needs, desires on him, on that rock, and you move the way he needs you to move, he's going to make sure that everything turns out right all the time. Now, it may not seem like it to us because we be looking at him like, yo, dude. At least I do. I don't know about y'all, but at least I do. I'd be like, listen, dude, what's going on? Like, I will be transparency moment. Just a conversation that I literally had this week, and I'm like, hey, we done talked about this. I know what you said, but dude, I need some answers. I need help. Like, I am struggling here. And I think so many people don't understand that they can have that type of blatant, honest, open conversation with God. They think that they're supposed to pontificate and speak big words and talk like you don't talk to people in normal life. When you talk to God, he already knows what we're going through. He already knows the struggles. However, until we voice those struggles, until we turn it over to him, until we allow him to do what he can do, it's just going to sit there festering in us. So we had to have a conversation this weekend, and I'm just like, listen, I'm saying this how I exactly had this conversation with God. I do. I'm a different bird. Everyone does it differently, but it was like, listen, you have told me that you need me to be ABC and XYZ, and I am telling you what I need. I am telling you where I gotta be. This is what I need to get to this point. I know what you told me. I know what you said, but I'm at a wall. It's not that I don't trust him. It's not that I don't love him. It's not that he has never brought me out of anything. We all at points get to a wall where we can't see the light. We can't see the net. And so therefore, we have to ask him. We have to, for me, he knows he's gonna work something out, and it's gonna be fine in a couple of days. He's gonna show me what he needs to show me to get me to the next level. That's just me. That is what my path is. That is what my walk is. You may be different, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to have that conversation with him. Because you know what? When you don't, when you know that it's in there, all it's doing is festering on you. All it's doing is hurting you. All it's doing is putting you in doubt. All it's doing is keeping you where you're at. See, when God is not an intrusive God. So many people are like, well, why don't he just fix it? See, that's what you're mistaken. Does the plumber just come in your house and fix something? You have to open the door and let him in and show him where the problem is. He's not just going to kick down your door and be like, yo, I heard you had a leak and I'm coming to fix it. You would look at him like he was crazy and probably call the cops on him, if not shoot him. God is the same way. He is not going to kick down doors that you don't open for him. He is a very still, quiet God, and he going to knock. He's going to speak in a smooth, still voice. He's not going to raise his voice. He's not going to get, many of us think that it's just going to be all this boom and fireworks or whatever. He's real chill. And that's when they say you have to sit still, it says, be still and know that I am God. Because see, when we shut our mouths up and allow him to download into us, that's when we get answers. But see, it first comes out with a confession. It first comes out with telling him that we need him. And I ain't got no problem telling him that I got a problem with things. I ain't got no problem telling him that, you know what, I still want to throat punch some people because they get on my absolute nerves. And it's not that I don't love them. And it's because it's frustrating. And it's not that I don't love them. The frustration comes is that you see their potential. You see what God has for them. You see they can be great, and they just do what they want to do, how they want to do, when they want to do, and they just squander it away, and you just wanted to shake them. So yeah, there's times I just want to throw punch people. Because many of us, when we get frustrated at work, the frustration is not on the basis that people can be incompetent. It's on the fact that you know that they have better potential. You know, because the God you serve put in you something awesome. So you know he didn't just put nothing mediocre in them either. And so when you begin to see people that way, when you begin to have a passion for them, you do have to ask God to sometimes correct that, because sometimes you just want to just slap them. You want to shake them. You want to ask them what is wrong with them. But in all honesty, it may not be their time to move forward. It is a test for you to see how you're going to deal with it. Are you going to let them sidetrack you, or are you going to continue to move on the way God wants you to do? See, that's all building. See, we are in a building phase. Sometimes we're going to get things thrown at us that we don't know why. There should be no reason that they're thrown at us. A beautiful sister in Christ, we were talking, and she mentioned something, and I'm going to say it here. Collateral damage. And many of us are collateral damage. And not because it's something that God had planned. It's something that he's allowed. And see, collateral damage can work both ways. Collateral damage is really for your benefit and your good. Because being collateral damage for someone else's damaged soul is going to show where you are spiritually. It's going to show your growth. It's going to show where you may need to mature in, where you may need to seek God in. So many times I'm accustomed to being collateral damage. But in the past year or so, I've taken collateral damage differently. I've embraced it. Because my thing is like, for that person, it may have to happen. God may be testing me to see if, not God, you got to understand too something. Satan likes to play games. And for many of us that is going through these tests and these trials, we never think about what if God probably said, have you considered my servant? We look at these as such bad things. And in actuality, God knows where we are. And when the scripture says he'll never put more on you than you can bear, that's never a lie. I am telling you to this day, like literally, I have been suffering from migraines for days. and I'm still able to do what I need to do. I'm still able to function. Yes, I have my downtime that he gives me, but he knows what is needed. And I'm continually pushing forward. See, the enemy doesn't, let me tell you what Satan does. Satan knows the word, but he doesn't know know or understand the application of his word. So just because he knows it and he can quote scriptures and he can bless with the best of them, he falls short when it comes to the application, when it comes to hiding it in our hearts, when it comes to no matter what, you have built up the full armor of God, and you know your scriptures, and when he talks something crazy, you just speak scripture to it. He doesn't get that. So you have to do battle with him the way we've been told to do battle with him, and not with our own understanding. That is completely with God understanding. Because if Jesus didn't go to battle with him with his own words, what makes you think we should? And we know Jesus is the Son of God. We know he was holy in deity and that he could speak Satan and Satan will be gone. He spoke his Father's word. He was giving us an example of what to do in the times of craziness, in the times of tribulations, and all the things that we go through. So this is a building time now. We've taken down all of the mask, the false pretense, all of the things that, he's pulled out the muck and the mire. And for some of us, we're left bare, and it's cold and it's hurting and it's painful. But now is the time he's beginning to build us back up, and he's stitching certain things in, and he's, cleaning it all up, and he's putting it all back together. See, the rebuilding process is going to be more painful than the demolition. Because see, the demolition was easy. Because see, the rebuilding is what's going to be the challenge for most of us, because that is when some things that is coming forward, you know better. And you have to do better. And so as he's building you, understand your accountability and responsibility is now risen. So how you reacted to something a month ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, you can't react the same way. How you moved 6 months ago, you can't move now. But he's by your side. He ain't never gonna leave you. Because see, sometimes we have to understand that desires we have are part of God's guidance in our life. With God in our lives, we have a firm foundation in which to build. So we never, ever have to worry about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. It just is. So it's time to build. It's time to get to that next level and to understand that God is our perfect foundation. And if we build our expectations, our hopes, our plans, our dreams, we building on him and be flexible to yield towards him, nothing that comes our way will be able to shift us. Nothing at all. So I want to thank you for joining us this evening for Great Expectations, a Time to Build. If you're on Facebook and you are not a part of the group, you can find us at YV Daily Devotionals. That's Y as in yellow, V as in Victor Daily Devotionals. We have all of the videos, bonus content. Just come on over and join the family. We definitely want to have you, and we want you to be a part of it. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and the same location. Also, if you have any prayer requests or praise reports, definitely want you to let us know what those are, because we want to continually pray for you and with you. And we also want to celebrate with you in those prayer requests as well, and those praise reports. So again, know that we love you. We wish you the very best. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Toodles.